Interference can be either internal or external. Let's talk about external, because there's two types of external interference. The first one we call distractions. Distractions are irrelevant information around you that you are aware is irrelevant and you're trying to ignore. So let's say you're having a conversation at a restaurant and you're just trying to shut out all that chatter going around you so you could focus on your conversation. Some of it may get in. That's what a distraction is. The other type of external interference is when you make the decision to attend to more than one piece of information. So now you might be having a conversation, but also listening to the waiter tell the dinner specials at the next table because you missed it the first time they were through your table, right? So now you're multitasking. That's another type of external interference. But you don't need external information to have interference. You could do it all in your own mind. You could have distractions, irrelevant information that just pop into your mind. You're having a conversation and you start thinking about, that fight you had with your loved one or something your boss said to you, even though you don't want to. You want to engage, but you're pulled away from it. That's called mind wandering. Or you might actually be multitasking internally. You might be listening to me and thinking about what you're going to have for dinner tonight. So there's a complex landscape of all the ways that we have interference. And now that you can break them down, and this is a categorical framework that I created several years ago, you'll start seeing all of these occur throughout your day constantly. We show that it degrades perception, it decreases decision making, it impacts long-term memory, it impacts short working memory, and it also impacts how you respond emotionally to the world around you. And then the workforce. Multiple studies show that people at work really only engage in one sustained focus for at most almost 3 minutes before they're interrupted. That interruption might be an external interference, or it might be completely internally generated. So they're working along and all of a sudden, time to check email, time to go on Facebook. It's been estimated as recently as several years ago that the economic impact of this globally on an annual basis is $450 billion. So massive loss of productivity by this type of behavior. So let's talk about multitasking. It was a misconception to think that the brain multitasks the way computers parallel process information. We find that if you are doing an attentionally demanding task and another attentionally demanding task comes along, you do not parallel process them, but rather you switch between them. And with each switch, there's a loss of some of the details of that information. There's a delay in the time, and there's an impact on performance. I just want to highlight 2 points that I want you to pay attention of in your everyday lives. The first is that although we have top-down goals, we have bottom-up sensitivity, right? So there are things in our environment that will demand our attention independent of our goals. Often in the tech world, there are notifications that pull you away from your focus. And it's not that bottom-up is bad. You need bottom-up. If you're about to cross the street and you're lost in your top-down thoughts and someone hits a horn, you should hear it. You should be able to be pulled out of your attention, internal attention, and actually respond and not get hit by the car. But it is really interesting to notice how your life could be driven by bottom-up inputs more than it should. And I think that's where technology has really challenged us. The other that I want to emphasize are our limitations. Try to recognize your limitations in your attention ability. Try to recognize your working memory limitations, how you might lose the details as you switch from conversation to conversation or technology to technology. How it all works is we take in information and we respond to it. And that perception action cycle guides everything we do. And that's the challenges that we face, is that we still have that ancient brain. We just now have created an environment around us that has challenged us in so many ways.